and a lot of opportunity to do that, and test grades repeatedly in the 50s, despite hours of private tutoring, which I have been more than willing to pay for, and fortunately was able to give him. And by December, I knew he would be repeating algebra next year, which I was fine with it if that's what he had to do. But frankly, I feel that this year was a waste. This group setting is not working. The teacher putting one problem on the board while students are trying to teach each other. Often the work in Algebra 1 was actually reflective of Algebra 2, sometimes Algebra 3, which may be part of this whole Common Core with advancing their math skills. But given one lesson on concepts that my sophomore and junior were doing in high school, in 8th grade, you can't expect them to do things like piecewise functions, invisible numbers. With maybe 15 minutes of classroom instruction, the child would come home unable to even do his homework. So this is not working. I feel that it was important for me to tell you my story so that people who have kids coming into this next year, I heard a little bit at the beginning of the meeting that perhaps you're moving back to more of a statewide curriculum, but I'm frankly concerned at the high school. I've tried to ask a few times with the principal there, Mr. Grove, felt that perhaps it would be more of a traditional learning environment next year. But I'm just wondering, will he be successful next year going into a traditional environment where hopefully he'll have a book that he can bring home so that, as in the past, I was able to open up a book and help my child see an algebra problem and actually go online and look at the book and teach it to him, coming home with a one-page worksheet with no examples for a parent or even an older sibling to help them. It actually affected other parts of his work. How can you go and concentrate on Spanish or science when you know you're going to walk in and fail that math test tomorrow despite 2 hours of prep work? I felt fortunate to get help from his teacher. She retired mid-year. The new teacher seems very nice, but frankly, it's just not enough. And I think that there's been a lot of commentary and even just discussion among parents in his own class that I've spoken to. How can an 8th grade student in a regular algebra class be given the same work that, frankly, the honors group was getting? And I saw this with my own eyes. I pulled up 2 different agendas for a test. The honors program was almost identical to the regular algebra class. The difference was they were about 3 days ahead, and were teaching themselves even more than my student had to teach himself. And despite a conference call with the teacher, there really wasn't much to do mid-year, and his performance has just continued to drop throughout the year.